The Iranian president went on a charm offensive in Davos. He is campaigning for an end to the US-imposed sanctions that are crippling his country's economy. Many countries, including South Africa, are eager to see the sanctions on Iranian oil exports lifted. South Africa used to import around 80% of its crude from Iran. That was before the United States banned Iran from exporting its oil 3 years ago in retaliation for its nuclear enrichment program.
We have had a history of deep economic and trade ties with European states. With the implementation of the Geneva Agreement last week and its subsequent steps, Iran's relations with European states will be entirely normalized. Engagement between Iran and the United States in the past few months has also entered a new phase, and for the first time, politicians from both countries have negotiated, exchanged views, and have made decisions to resolve differences in relation to the nuclear issue.
Signs of a tentative recovery in the European economy is also generating a lot of debate. Europe is projected to grow by 1.5% this year. While some have dismissed that as too small and unsustainable, South Africa says it's encouraging.
Given that Europe remains our major trading partner, and given that the impact of the recession in Europe was particularly hard felt on South African exports to Europe, I think we would hope that the next phase might give us a few more opportunities.
Meanwhile, the South African delegation here continues to try to lure investors into various sectors, especially the ICT sector.
One of the reasons foreign investors say that they're reluctant somewhat to invest is because of the cost to communicate and because our ICT sector is relatively weak. And we have, with the broadband policy adopted by Cabinet on the 4th of December, set the basis now for substantial improvements in the ICT sector. So there's a lot of interest in our broadband policy.
The role of technology in changing the way people live is generating a lot of debate here. And at last there is progress in the long-running debate about the reform of the World Bank and the IMF. The managing director of the IMF, Zumin, says the IMF is now prepared to give emerging economies like Brazil more voting rights. Mbongeni Muthu, SABC News, Davos, Switzerland.